Greetings once again, fellow book lovers. It's time for the latest edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you a book that I've read, reviewed, and recommend. And today's is a very interesting one. It is Ed Wood, Made in Hollywood by Will Sloan. This is published by OR Books. I don't have a U.S. price. It retails for $27.95 in Canada, and it is 163 pages long. Ed Wood is one of the most interesting directors of all time. Those who are familiar with him are likely have heard of the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space, which many consider the worst movie that's ever been made. It starred, Bela Lugosi, but he died just as production of the movie began. So Ed Wood wanted somehow to include him in the movie, so he had old footage that he shot of Bela Lugosi, and he used it in the movie, and there was sort of a stand-in for Bela Lugosi. You only saw the back of the person, and so it made it for very interesting. And people said that the scenery in the movie, like the cemetery, was little cardboard tombstones, and there were flying saucers too that they had like little models of flying saucers, and you could see the string as they supposedly flew through the air. Ed Wood, in many ways, was a visionary. He was a man who wanted to do something different. Now, his first movie in 1953 was called Glenn or Glenda, about a man who was a cross-dresser. He wore women's clothes, and it was sort of controversial for its time. Now, apparently, Ed Wood was a cross-dresser as well. He was not gay. He was married. And sometimes when he came to direct that particular movie, he wore women's clothing. He liked the feel of them. He especially had a fetish for Angora sweaters that he loved to wear. So he's had quite a life, really. He had a lot of interesting movies. Among them was Jailbait, Bride of the Monster, Night of the Ghouls, and in 1994, Tim Burton directed a movie called Ed Wood. It was a tribute to Ed Wood, and Johnny Depp played Ed Wood, where they looked at his life, and it was most fascinating. Now, in the book, Will Sloan has really told a lot about Ed Wood's life in the 60s, when he became a writer of sex and crime novels. In fact, he wrote 80 such novels. He made about $1,000 per each novel, and it helped him, basically stay out of bankruptcy. He didn't have a lot of money, but later in life he became a raging alcoholic, really. He was evicted from a lot of his houses with his wife, and when he was evicted, some of his old scripts and old movie memorabilia was left behind because he had to leave the premises. Now, in the 70s, he also became a director and writer of porn movies. He found that anything to make a dollar, anything to keep above the tidal wave of debt, he went for. But it was his alcoholism that really was his downfall toward his later years. And supposedly his wife as well, she was into drinking too. But this book really tells the tale of a most interesting life. How Ed Wood, he wanted to have a lot of big name stars, and that's why he got Bela Lugosi in some of his films, because Bela Lugosi's career in the 50s was basically reaching toward the end. He was a big star in the 30s and 40s with the horror movies, and he also had the Amazing Criswell introduce a lot of the movies. Now, the Amazing Criswell was a famous psychic back in the 50s and 60s. So, like I said, he tried to get, fairly famous people that he wouldn't have to pay a lot of money to, whose career was sort of going on the downslide. So this book is truly entertaining. At only 163 pages, it's a very quick read. So if you've ever seen an Ed Wood movie, or you've never seen an Ed Wood movie, perhaps you should watch one just for the sheer, well, joy of seeing them. I plan on seeing Plan 9 from Outer Space just for the heck of it. But anyways, this book is really a great tribute to Ed Wood. So if you do purchase it, please let me know if you do agree with my review. I think you will. So thank you for watching. I'll be back again very soon with another first-rate book. And until that time, as I always say, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Thanks again. Bye for now.